Hello and welcome to Mastering Mediocrity Music Reviews. I am Jeff.
I am Mark.
Got you.
I'm Ben.
And we are here today to go over Battle Beast Circus
Of Doom.
There's three of us. And we are here to do Battle Beast Circus
Of
Doom. There we go, boys. And
I didn't look at any camera when I said that.
that's fine. I don't think you needed to. But I think we are going to do what we normally do.
Take a shot.
All right.
Let's do this.
All right, so this is even different than the one we just did.
Oh.
I brought up the one that I got.
Oh.
So this is Bernheim original Kentucky Straight wheat whiskey.
Ooh.
Unopened,
Wow.
so I'm probably going to open it.
Wheat whiskey.
I'm not probably going to open it. I have to open it.
Whiskey.
Intriguing.
Substantial.
Throw that there.
Now, the only thing I know about whiskeys is that to call yourself a particular type of whiskey, whether it's rye or
I'm going to let you guys pour your own shots.
or wheat or bourbon, like with bourbon you have to be 51% corn, rye you have to be at least 51% corn, wheat you have to be at least 51% wheat.
Sure.
The dominant, I guess,
Did you mean
ingredient.
rye has to be 51%?
At
You
least.
said corn.
No, for bourbon that was
Yeah,
corn.
but you said corn for...
Well, we'll have to find that out. All right, boys.
All right.
Did you find out I was right?
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Oh.
Ooh. Yeah.
Woof.
Bruja.
Wow.
It's sweet.
My nipples are
It's
so hard.
so sweet.
It's very
It's
sweet.
like crashingly sweet, like just waves of sharp flavors. I don't think I like it as much as the other one.
It's
No.
definitely harder to drink.
Yeah.
That's
Everybody reaching for a chaser isn't a good sign.
yeah. It's probably gonna be my lowest whiskey like initial feel. I'm gonna give it a 5.5.
Oh. Okay. Pass it back over here. Let me top it off.
Give it a little taste.
I don't want another taste.
I'm just gonna
Smell it. Oh, you're gonna cork it. All right,
put it back in
Mark.
the cooler.
I'd probably give that a 5.
Yeah, Ben.
Probably 6.
Okay.
It tasted good, but it's like kicks you in the face.
I took the shot in, and I'm not like a guzzler. I put it in my mouth and let it sit there for just half a second.
Yeah.
Too long.
Yeah, which is maybe too long. For this one, it was too long.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
And I was like, I don't want to drink this. So
No.
maybe it is lower than 5.5. But then it's still whiskey. It's still pretty good. It
Yeah.
grounds me. I like it.
Probably, probably one of those ones you just mix. Yeah.
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 I didn't get the diffusion. It's all in the throat. Just not terribly pleasant. Yeah.
Yeah, the heat didn't follow
No.
down the track.
Oh well. All right, so we'll kick it off with Battle Beast Circus of Doom. Ben, give us a little bit of a background about how you feel about this band and or some information about them. However you want to go with it.
All right, so Finnish heavy power metal band, Battle Beast. Found them in, I want to say 2015.
All right, so it's been 7 years now.
Yeah, which is kind of crazy. At the time, they had just lost, I don't want to say lost, but their lead guitarist just left the band.
Interesting.
And so their first 3 albums really don't sound anything like what they're doing now.
Okay.
But they sound similar. There's definitely songs that sound like something they might do
Sure.
in the on those first 3. But these are definitely more traditional power metal style. The other one, not that the other one isn't, but not to be like Mark, you don't know, but there's another band called Beast in Black. You know Beast in Black?
Mm-hmm.
That band is where the other guitarist went. He went and created Beast in Black.
Which is kind of crazy that they even
but they
have the same
Beast.
naming feel.
Yeah, but I think Battle Beast was his band, or he was the one who started it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, established in Helsinki in 2005 by Anton Kabanen. I'm gonna mess up. I'm gonna mess up every name. Juuso Soinio and Piri Viki, and so they put out like an album with whatever the original was, and then their second album
Still had Nora?
No, the first album didn't.
Oh.
So the second album is the first one with Nora.
And I wonder if she becomes the dominant personality.
Right. I think so.
Causing the guitarist to.
I'm not sure about any of the behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
But there's definitely the stuff now feels different than what they were doing. It feels more theatrical, more themed. Not like the other stuff wasn't necessarily themed, because there was like this general beast warrior sort of industrial metal almost.
Interesting.
Sort of vibe.
Yeah.
Whereas
I'm gonna
now,
have to go back and
whereas
check that out.
whereas now you don't really get as much of that. There are times where you hear it, but it's not the dominant thing.
Yeah.
But
that will come up as far as like the theme of this album. We'll go over what I think they did right, what they did wrong, and then obviously we'll have a feel of what the album was in general.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's something to be said about naming it Circus of Doom and what they did with that. I digress. We'll go into it from there.
Let's.
Yeah. So let's just start off. The album's namesake song is Circus of Doom, and it starts at the very beginning. Track 1, Circus of Doom. And, okay.
Yeah.
The album name is Circus of Doom. They have the song Circus of Doom, which incorporates circus sounds and elements. And it is a pretty good song that I feel does justice to the album's namesake, but maybe not to the rest of the album itself. Because if you're gonna introduce an album with a song and it has this circus theme, to me, I expect maybe more circus than it ends up offering.
Yeah, there wasn't as much circus as I thought. There were definitely little parts of it where there.
Maybe I think only one other song.
Yeah, like I think it was Russian Roulette, where there was overt. Yeah. But I agree. It's this is the type of song that a post Anton Battle Beast
would do.
Does.
Okay.
You know
thematic.
I mean? Yeah, but obviously, like I've said before, like as the bands go on, they become more
of what they
are. They lose.
Most bands do.
And since this is like now they're 6, so and they've lost. I think he was kind of like one of the main music writers or songwriters for the band, and so like the style is just like a little bit different. Like obviously people came in to replace him to play his stuff, but like it's just done a little bit different now.
It was his brainchild, and now it's not.
It is more polished just because they're a pretty good sized band. I mean, obviously we're in the States, so like to us it's this small band from Helsinki or whatever.
Yeah.
But in
their top song has 22 million listens.
Yeah, in Europe or whatever, they're big. For whatever that is. Whatever
yeah.
That means here.
Let's talk about where these guys slot, and then Mark, you won't know as much, but like. So Sabaton's huge now.
Yeah, I know that name.
Powerwolf is pretty big too.
Also know that one.
But then
that's mainly from you guys though.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me how power metal-y Battle Beast is, and isn't as popular as I think they should be. But this album kind of underlines perhaps a problem that they have right now. We'll talk about it more later. But there is a problem that this album has.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll be interested to know if either of you agree with me. But yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's not like the best opener, but
it just doesn't match. This is my problem. That's my biggest problem. Is that this song introduces us to a circus theme, has the circus theme in it, and then doesn't really continue that
throughout the rest of the album.
That's fair. Yeah.
What are your thoughts there, Mark? What'd you think?
I mean, I enjoyed like the bass rhythms. I found the lyrics to be a little like hokey.
Yeah, I feel you.
a little
It's
bit.
power metal in
I know
general,
it's power metal in
potentially.
general, but like, yeah, I mean, like to listen to a song about, a Circus of Doom, it's, it's just like, I just envision like over the top Alice in Chain, like stage production type,
Oh, Alice in Wonderland.
or no, like Alice in Chain. They have, Alice in Chains like live.
Yeah.
They do all kind of crazy stuff with like big like baby dolls and stuff running around
Oh, I
stage. It's
can
like
feel
just
it.
wild
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
Like it feels like one of those. It's hard to take a song like that seriously. It's not that it can't be good.
Yeah.
Like I gave it out of a 5 out of 10, and this isn't my like style of music, but like,
Yeah.
I wasn't disappointed when I first heard it. Like I wasn't like, oh god, how am I going to get through the rest of this?
Yeah.
Like it was a little hokey, but like the music was good.
You can get through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, as the least as the person who least enjoys power metal, a 5 is a very gracious number.
I mean, it takes a lot of skill to have such intensity with so many different instruments and meld them together, so it's not just like fucking wild noise.
For sure. I give it a 7.5.
I gave it a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't look into the lyrics of this song, so like I just kind of have the Circus of Doom kind of stuck in my head. But on Master of Illusions, when I went back started looking at the lyrics and started thinking about it.
You shouldn't have done that with that song.
But I did it for like the rest of the album, or
Okay.
more or less the rest of the album.
Interesting.
But I'd listened to it a couple of times at that point, so I was like, I'd like to see what these stories are, or see if there are stories, see if I can pull a Jeff and be like, how can I analyze these?
Yeah, like connect the songs together.
Yeah, exactly. Like is there a bigger circus theme that I'm just missing by casually listening to it while I'm working out?
All right,
You know
so-
what I'm saying?
And I will just say, like, there's a lot of like references to flying
Mm-hmm.
in this album, like overtly so. And I just kind of felt like they just named the album wrong, and they didn't have to. They didn't have to go into the circus theme.
I'm broad strokes. I'm just kind of introduce it here, but I think there are like 2 levels. I could see 2 different levels, like the kind of just surface level Circus of Doom, Master of Illusion, sort of theatrical nature of the lyrics, and then a lot of it sounds like a band on the road, just looking at it through a different lens. You know what I'm saying? And I'll talk about it more, but some of it sounds more like I might talk about it. I don't know if I wrote it down.
we'll figure it out.
Yeah. It's a chance it'll come up.
So let's just move on to the second song.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
Wings of Light. I gave the song an 8. I don't think it's my favorite song off the album, but this is more kind of what I want from it.
I gave it an 8.5.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it is the best song. I'm kind of there too, where I'm like, this is a really good song.
It's a really catchy
But is
chorus.
it the best
Right.
one?
Right.
Yeah, and this one has like cool key changes in it that maybe doesn't exist in the rest of the album so much. It's very catchy.
They do a lot of it's called God damn it, was it modular shifts? I think is what it's called. I was thinking about it earlier, but they'll be in like whatever key it is, and then they'll just like jump up a whole
octave,
not octave, like a whole step.
Whole
like
step,
they'll be
whatever
in
the
B
step,
minor. They'll be playing in like B minor, and
To
then they'll
B.
jump up to D.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Which is just like playing, but it adds, it's like a release. It adds just like an extra a thing. They do that a lot, and it's kind of like one of their signature things.
Okay, we can talk about that as well.
But this song definitely falls into doing that type of catchy, traditional
Power metal
stuff. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I think it really highlights Nora's voice. It's like the first one does, but like I think this one really does it better.
Strict power metal, and the first one perhaps not so theatrical in voice. What'd you give this one?
I gave this one a 6, so I like this one better than the first.
So we all
the
bumped
chorus,
it up.
The chorus was really solid.
Yeah,
Really
nice.
nice.
I have
Chorus.
that too.
Yeah.
Very good chorus.
It kind of, I don't know, the thing that threw me off, like when the intro starts, like it just sounded like a weird version of like a metal Eye of the Tiger kind of song as what like came to mind like when it first came on, and then I couldn't shake that for a while, and then the chorus stepped in. I was like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, this is
Okay.
nice.
Yeah,
That's
6.
nice.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a good score for you.
Yeah.
Let's go on to Master of Illusion then.
Go ahead.
I gave the song, I'm gonna say initially a 6.5.
Master of Illusion.
Yeah, but I put in here that just like this is Nora at her best.
Yes, she's having a lot of fun here.
Dude, she's killing it in this one.
I wrote, love Nora's voice just melts my ice cold heart.
I just put Nora is a gem.
She,
Like,
I've told Jeff this before, but she is without a doubt my favorite female metal singer, and she might even be my favorite metal singer. Just
blatantly.
She's got a solid set of pipes.
Yeah,
I mean, she can really get after it.
I played it for you earlier, but that song "Let It Roar" is my nipples are hard the entire song.
Yeah.
It's a great song.
It's so fun.
There's a lot of gur in that one. It's
Yeah.
like way different. That song to me sounded way different than the songs on this album.
That song is more exemplifies what they were doing when Anton was in the band.
Yeah, I got that.
And so if you go listen to Beast in Black,
you'll get that.
You'll get that. And then, but what you're missing is Nora's voice.
Yeah, I enjoyed this more than that. Like
Yeah.
the purity of her voice.
Yeah.
in here.
Yeah, in this album.
It
I
just
like
sound-
that better than what that more like raspy yelling.
I think she just has a great range and can do a lot of different
Right.
things. I mean, she may not be able to do the operatic singing. I mean, she might be able to. I'm not really.
I wouldn't be surprised
I-
if she
I wouldn't.
could.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. But
She has this
Sorry,
bluesy
Fernando.
rasp to it.
yeah,
for
it's
sure.
great. I love it.
Yeah,
That's great.
growly and everything. But beyond the singing, maybe the song isn't too terribly impressive.
Yeah,
What'd you give
wasn't
it?
my favorite. I gave it a 4. It wasn't really.
Okay,
I didn't
Ben.
really- It was okay.
I gave it a 7.5.
So-
But that's on my first pass through.
So-
After multiple, everything has probably jumped up like a whole point or so.
Yeah, for me, I gave it a 6.5 initially. This song is one of the more memorable ones
Yeah.
to me.
Yeah.
For sure. 7.5 all day.
So
yeah.
this is the one. This is where I started to think about the lyrics,
Yeah.
and it's like, all right, so it seems like this is like a fucking.
Speaking of which, I
It's-
mean, that song's misnamed. It should be called Joker, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It seems like this album may or may not be talking about how to say it, like some like dystopian fucking mystical maestro, like is coming to take over or whatever. Like,
Well,
Like a
Master.
midlife show.
Well, so I say
Yeah.
it's called Joker. That's because that's like the dominant word that she sings.
Yeah.
But Master of Illusion and Joker. Joker is that guy who is like he's probably actually very contemplative on the inside, but his outro is this person who's silly and goofy, but he's really scheming in the back end.
And yeah, like this one, I feel like is really evil almost.
Oh
on
yeah.
on that silly level.
And it does give you the Circus of Doom without the theme in the music.
Yeah. And it started like that mirror. The first verse sounds like a question. It is a question from the evil fucking mystical maestro, as I'd like to call him. And then there's
now Mark is realizing how deep we can go with some of these songs.
And so, like,
real deep.
And now,
Yeah.
and so then the chorus sounds like it's from his perspective,
Mm.
But then the second verse is the response, the mirror's response, and so it's like,
Bro, you went deep on
yeah.
this.
So like the first verse says like who's the greatest of them all, and then he lists off his fucking great deeds or whatever, and then the mirror responds like basically tells him his deeds back, but they're evil.
Yeah.
And so then the chorus comes again, and so but it sounds like it's from the perspective of the mirror, and so it has this whole other tone, even though it's literally the exact same. It's interpreted in a completely different way.
Fascinating.
Mm.
I'm gonna have to listen to that song again.
Yeah, it makes me
with
want to
an
read
eye.
this album like a book.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
and the third verse, I think, just confirms the hypothesis that it's
Good,
like
evil.
like it's the
Con-
mirrors telling you that no, you're not quite what you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah,
Indeed.
Yeah.
I like the analysis. Good for
Yeah.
you, bro.
bro, you inspired me last week with Adele and Dave.
that one was wearing its heart on its sleeve, bro. All right, so then that puts us to Where Angels Fear to Fly. And I'm kind of getting the wingsy flying songs here, and that's kind of part of it, which is fine. I'm not I can hear the chorus in my head, nothing else, and it is Where Angels Fear to Fly. Like that's part of the chorus. Like that's all I remember from the song.
Yeah,
I give it a 6 out of 10.
Yeah,
just because it's power metal. I probably would be a 5 if anybody else sang this song.
Yeah.
Would you give it, Art?
It was my favorite song on the album. If I'm being completely honest. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
It was. I loved it.
I mean, it is good. That's the thing.
It was different from a lot of their other stuff because it had really
less
direct like breakdowns in between like the verses, and there was like a repeatable rhythm. It was, I wouldn't say it's more like a pop. It's structured more like a regular song.
It may be the most palatable song for the average listener.
That's probably what it was, because it had the breakdowns with just like really good guitar riffs in between the
keyboard, the guitar is toned down just a little bit, and that's why I didn't like it. Because like I know I'm in a power metal album, and I just like want to be thrashed. Most of these songs do. This one probably thrashed me the least.
But I feel like this is kind of like in the style of what they're into. Like they like to fucking go bombastic and then fucking bring it back down.
But do they even really do that here? They don't really bring it back down. Like I don't think there's a point in the entire album where they ever really step back. Not like Powerwolf
for the whole
does.
song.
Not like Sabaton does. Like Powerwolf, Sabaton, even Dragon Force, they're willing to bring things back down, and all of these songs are within, I'm going to say, 20 beats per minute of tempo.
At some points, maybe. I'd have to listen to it again because Avalon, the Road to Avalon is a fairly slow song.
It is, yeah.
I don't want to say fairly slow, but...
It's different.
Yeah.
It is.
I gave this bad boy a 5. I think it's a dumb title.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be terrible when I read the title.
Yeah.
But I was surprised.
It's funny how, like, it's like this, kind of. What did you give it? What was your actual score?
I gave it a 7.
All right. I gave it a 6.
I gave it a 5,
Yeah, all right. So 5 and 7. I mean, we are within 2, so.
Yeah, I don't love it, but for somebody, it's a good song. But this one, I think, this is the first one where I noticed the underlying, or I thought I noticed an underlying, just like reading it as like a touring band thing. But I feel like it sort of vaguely applies to like the mystical elements that are presented, in the song. You can sort of get it, like there were talking about like rising to the sky or whatever, kind of get the evoking images of the rising phoenix,
where angels fear to fly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the sky.
But then she doesn't reference it. She says the glass ceiling, which is a specific reference. And I'm like, as a female-fronted power metal band, I'm sure that
there is a feel of that.
And especially as they're like one of the big, I don't know how big they are, but you can interpret that as like, hey, this is a female-led band that's like maybe taking it up to the next level. You know what I mean? Going up to that next thing, or whatever. And so like I think you can interpret that song from Nora's perspective completely differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As like a band on the rise sort of thing. And I don't know, I think that's kind of cool.
You're really digging into the meanings here.
Only for probably a couple more, because then I was...
I get you. It's not something that I would have considered, but yeah, I mean...
Take a look at the lyrics.
But
I was like, I don't know.
She's trying to tread where no one else has treaded.
Exactly.
Because, like, okay, Nightwish, Within Temptation, like, there are, but Hailstorm even, like, there are other female lead singers that are really breaking into what was traditionally the man's zone of music. And, like, there's a reason why we're here listening to them, because they're fucking good.
Yeah.
And they're doing it right.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm not very familiar with Hailstorm, but, like, Nightwish, not necessarily this, but, or not necessarily
huge fan.
Examples of what I'm about to say.
Yeah.
But a lot of the female bands are doing, not a lot, I don't know, but like, some of them here, they're like, wow, doing like the screaming.
Trying to do the exact what the man is doing.
But like they're still doing this with like that feminine voice, and Nightwish as well with Temptation. They're both doing that.
Yeah.
So it's cool that hey, we're doing this metal thing.
You feel like it's a
traditional
call out.
power metal thing, but we're doing it in a feminine, still doing a feminine way, and they're still we're still doing it in a fucking
Yeah, I
cool
think the
kick-ass
subject
way or whatever.
matter of like how the songs are like said and like the message and all that, the story isn't really taken away by having a female singer. You know, it's not
Yeah.
like maybe if you're doing albums about like war and stuff like that, I
Yeah.
don't know, but if it's more like a fantasy make believe kind of thing.
And that is a good point, because there
I don't
is
think
really
being
no,
female
like, it's not
takes away
really
from
about
that.
confrontation. There's no battling necessarily.
Right. Well, I mean, even still.
Not to the degree of like Amon Amarth, we'll say. Viking metal.
Yeah.
Well, I
Right.
there's some that still do that, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I mean,
sure.
Fuck, what was that one band? I can't remember who it is. I can't remember the name. But they had that one song, I'm gonna fuck you to death.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
because
just
they
said
are
that to me.
But have a different kind
That's
of
just, yeah.
meaning with a female
I
singer.
looked at their other songs and they were just like tongue in cheek.
Yeah, I
You
think
know
that,
what I mean?
I think that song is fucking hilarious.
Alright, let's move on to the Eye of the Storm.
Alright.
And I think we're kind of in the same area. You know, we're still talking about sky, flying.
Yeah.
And I like this song better than the previous. I gave it a 7 out of 10. It's really punchy, great mechanics, but there's nothing like terribly special about it. It's like a really good metal song.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I, could give it. But it was good. It caught my attention compared to the previous song. But this is where I'm at in the album at this point. I just feel like I'm probably just going to hear standard power metal songs the entire album.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say I was not wrong.
No. These are all pretty straightforward, traditional.
Yeah. And that's disappointing to me. If you're going to thrash me at an 8.5 out of 10 tempo pace the entire album for the most part, give me something a little bit different for parts of the song. They could, like Soilwork did, they would have thrashing for most of their song, but in most of their songs, they'd have some type of pullback breakdown, and these guys just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Their pullbacks are minimal. There isn't that like new metal breakdown that I like.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting a Korn style breakdown, but just give me something that really has the key change and a tempo change, and like that type of moment knocks me off my feet. Just I like that. That never happens here. It's just power metal.
Yeah, it's pretty like homogenous through the whole song.
They're
Nothing
true to
really stood
themselves.
out. That's I think one thing I wrote down was nothing really stood out. It just sounded like just another kind of fantasy metal song.
Yeah.
Without, I give it a 3.
Give it a
That's
7.
as
What'd you give it?
I gave it a 6. I just thought it was slightly better than average.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could go deeper into what I thought. This is like the one I talk about. I think this is the one that sounds most like a traveling band, a touring band. Like, so we'll pull the lyrics up here. It was like, my heaven, the eye of the storm, the place I want to go, serene and beautiful. It's like, to me, that sounds like a band longing for home. It's like, man, we've been out on the road fucking forever. Just to give me like a fucking
Some
weekend.
reprieve.
Just give me a weekend, you know?
Yeah.
That sort of shit.
I can see them like calling it the Circus of Doom and talking about their experience traveling.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
They're another one of those bands that do a lot of traveling.
Yeah, a lot of tour, yeah.
We saw them.
They've canceled a lot. They've had to cancel a lot of shit.
That's
lately.
right,
So
recently.
I hate it. I don't want to. I mean, we can
Is that them? Is that the venues? Is
Yeah.
it money? It's hard to say.
probably all the above.
Yeah. But they canceled their North American tour recently.
Yeah,
And were they going to headline it?
they were coming with Dragon Force, so they probably opened it for Dragon Force.
I can see them wanting to finally get into their own opener situation.
Oh, like
Or,
somebody-
headlining situation.
Yeah.
In the States, at least.
Yeah.
I'm sure they've headlined their own tours in Europe.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on.
All right.
Russian Roulette.
All right. I gave this bad boy a 7.5. I was even said I was going to add this one to the playlist, to my heavy metal playlist.
So I initially gave this a 6.5. And it may be my favorite song on the album after a couple more listens.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like that it continues the circus theme at least more obviously. initially I thought the song was too long because they have that interlude where they do like the Russian humming. It sounds like they're in a saloon. You have a little bit of the yeah,
yeah.
and you're getting the circus in the back, and it was cool. And I was like, that's I originally thought that's where it should just end. But then they bring the chorus back for like 30 more seconds.
Yeah.
And the second run through, I was like, yeah, I did want to hear more of that. Yeah, like that's cool. Good for them. It is a memorable song, and I feel like it plays to the namesake more than any other song besides the first one. So I liked it. Yeah, it was good, but it still had the problem of just being a power metal song.
Yeah. That's what they do.
What'd you give it?
I gave it a 3.
Another 3?
Yeah, it's like it was so like I don't know. The lyrics were very like direct.
Yeah.
Not super imaginative.
I think with Russian Roulette, it is an obvious confrontation, so you can't really dance around it. I mean, you're talking about like safety or danger.
I thought the music was really good. The instrumentals, just the lyrics, kind of left a little bit desired for me.
Sure, just like
overall, the song itself, if you're not listening to the like what's being said and it's just on, like it was a good song.
Yeah, I can dig that.
Yeah, that's usually the way I take it in. I rarely. I don't even think I went back into the fucking lyrics past that, because I'm normally working out, so I just want to I don't want to be sitting there on my phone fucking reading lyrics.
That's when I did this. Was when I was
writing
doing
shit
that.
down,
So listening.
But yeah, this is another one where I think Nora sounds great. She's really having a lot of fun and doing and just showcasing her skills as a singer. But I get real Land of Confusion vibes from it by Genesis.
Yeah.
But but it's very subtle and it's very short. Like, it's not the chorus. It's like a 3-second section of the verse. You know what I mean?
That's how I felt with the Eye of the Tiger thing. With the
yeah. You just had that
earlier on
connection.
the album. Yeah, I was like, I heard it for a second.
Yeah. All right. So whatever song is up next? Freedom. Not whatever song, but whatever number it is.
Yeah.
Song 7 or whatever. All right. I thought this had like a really epic opening.
Mm-hmm.
And what did I say? I really like this one, but I'm going to need to revisit it with the lyrics up. And I didn't. And that's all I wrote. I gave it a 7.
I gave this one a 7.5.
I think it, on my subsequent listens, it's probably like really a 7.5 or an 8. Because I do like these songs. I don't want to say a lot, but after you listen to them a couple of times, they grow on you a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
This is the song
At least me.
that I've heard before from them. I don't know why. I think it was on a metal playlist, and this song came up. And
this album came out like a week ago.
Oh,
2
really?
weeks ago? Yeah.
Was that? Well, maybe. I mean, you never know with those
Released
metal
on
playlists.
January 21st.
And a lot of times the songs that
Yeah.
are newer get added as the number one song. So
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'd heard this. Well, this is
Maybe.
the song that reminds me of Sabaton's Purple Heart to a degree. I mean, they're talking kind of, they've got the very American theme of freedom here. And then Sabaton had Purple Heart at kind of a similar position in their album.
Mm-hmm.
And I could even say like the Russian Roulette song kind of matched up to what Sabaton did in their first Prima Victoria album with their Russian song. Like I just feel like there's these similarities there with those particular 2 songs with Sabaton's. In any case, I'm just spelling out again, like, they still haven't done anything different except for a power metal song with this one too. It's just not changed.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it's great because it's still power metal, but like it's not even a different tempo of power metal. And I just give me something different. Still good.
Yeah.
Still good. That's all.
Really good intro.
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed the intro. It had like a.
Oh yeah, what did you give it?
I gave it a 6.
All right, good.
Like through a lot of the song, it had like a horse gallop kind of like tempo to it.
Yeah, keeps you growing.
So
Going.
It just threw that image of like some guy in his backyard like pretending to ride a horse and like cutting leaves and stuff. Like, do this song.
That's fun.
With his maul broadsword, is that what you said?
Yeah.
His scythe, or is it scythe?
I don't know.
I never know how to say that word.
We'll have to ask a farmer.
Scythe.
Yeah, scythe.
Yeah,
I think.
it's scythe. Like
SCYTHE.
Yeah, the
Sickle?
The
Grim
weed
Reaper.
cutter. Yeah.
Yeah, is it a
The
scythe?
sickle. The
Yeah.
sickle scythe. Yeah. Something like that. And now, through the magic of editing, we are back and we are going to take shots just so we can just wrap our heads around what's happened so far. Does that sound good?
It does.
Let's do it. I'm going to go back to the rye.
Okay.
Bring it out.
I'll pass this over to you boys.
I didn't have the ring I wanted it to.
It's a tall bottle.
Sorry,
Got a lot of
man.
room to dissipate.
That's all right. The internet will just confirm what everybody tells me when I send them fucking a bunch of snaps. I'm drinking in the middle of the week. Like, Jesus Christ, man.
Happy Tuesday.
I don't touch alcohol except for on this night.
That's how it's been lately.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
That is so good. Oh, I get. I'm a
It's
fan.
a little spicier than it was.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, a little bit. Just a touch. Put that back in the cooler.
I think that's really very tasty. And I may have to go and buy myself a bottle.
Yeah, that's really not bad. I'd see.
Especially for $39, maybe 36 you said?
I think it might have been 39.
I'm down. All right, the road of...
Two.
No,
Two.
no, the road to...
Avalon.
Well done, gentlemen. Their most theatrical song?
I guess.
Feeling. It's still not theatrical. I put theatrical feeling.
I guess. It's not. I thought it was just middle of the road.
Yeah.
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 There not much stood out except for the ding ding ding, like the bells. I like looked it up to see like what it was, what sort of instrument that was, and I'm between two different things. It might be mixed. It might just be a computer fucking. They like we sampled 300 bells and combined them all together.
Wait, just step back. In Russian Roulette, they do a synthesized drum beat that sounds a lot like Into the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. But synthesized, yeah. The thing that I noticed was that there was like a little bit of a maybe like late 70s metal guitar sound to it, a little bit of Scorpions action. That's what I noticed. I don't remember the bells or whatever they were.
Okay, we're
Tubular
both missing
things.
stuff. Okay.
Yeah, maybe worth another listen. Like I remember kind of liking the song. I gave it a 6.5.
Yeah. I would say I gave it a 5. I want to say upon several listenings, it's all right, not the best, and cool instrumentation. Yeah.
Mr. Mark.
A 5 as well. It's just
Okay.
nothing really stood out. It's
Yeah.
just kind of standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah.
Not fantastic.
A good third to last song for an album.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, nothing really strays far from the formula.
No.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one's kind of interesting. Armageddon is, it's different. It hasn't, all right, the first thing that's different about this song is in the background, they say Armageddon, and it has this robotic voice to it. Did you notice that?
No, I really wish I really wish I'd have revisited my notes because I wrote like feels like a song that I'll like with subsequent passes, and I know I do like it with subsequent passes, but I never went down and wrote.
It's like Dominator
anything about
from is that Grand Vegas that does
Yeah,
Dominator? It's like that song's not
Dominator.
like it's one of the silly songs on the album.
It is, but
And then you're
it's
like,
fuck.
oh yeah, this is good.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
have to revisit that.
yeah, this is a good song. I know it's on one of your playlists.
We'll revisit the album.
Oh, for sure, needs to be done. We did it, but we didn't post it. Yeah, fair enough.
Jeff made an executive decision.
So what did you give it? I gave it a 7. What did you give it?
I didn't like it at first. It was my least favorite to start with. I wrote down a 2 initially, and then as it went on, it got better. The vocals have a really good rhythm with the instrumentals. Early on, just kind of sucked the energy out of it at first, but it did get better. So I changed it to a 4 from my initial 2 as it went on.
Okay, I mean it improved over time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just this is where I was just like reiterating my point about the power metal. Like, we know Nora is capable. She's a capable singer. there are other sounds that they could explore with her voice, and maybe she doesn't want to, but like me, I want her to do something different than another power metal song on this damn album.
Like an acoustic.
Yeah,
She does. She does side projects. I don't know if that'd be the right term for it, or or even solo stuff. But she does. I follow her on Instagram.
yeah.
Hey Nora, biggest fan in Cincinnati, Ohio.
So I think we can move on to,
The
unless
final
anybody
song.
has like a final note about that song. Was there anything besides the digitized Armageddon? Okay.
No.
The place we call
Home.
I put just another decent song.
Yeah, man, I gave this a 7.5. I thought, I was like, man, but this is straight traditional power metal, straight the traditional power metal chord progression. You know what I mean? You'll hear that exact chord progression, maybe in different keys or something, but it'll sound exactly the same in a dozen other songs, and it's classic. It's fucking catchy. I love it. I like. People will be like, "Yo, that's so formulaic," but yo, it
works.
It works. It hits on
Yeah.
notes.
This-
It ain't broke.
Yeah, exactly.
This one is like Where Angels Fear to Fly. It
Mhm.
is. It is a regurgitation of that. I mean, like that's what I remember because they kind of talk, place that we call home, and that's what Where Angels Fear to Fly does. And so I was just like, I gave it a 6.5, but I just didn't have anything to say because I'm just like, it's another power metal song.
Yeah.
All right.
Compared to the last probably 3 or 4 songs, not that whatever. This one I think is just like a step up and just closes on a high note.
It is
for a
the
couple
last
of
song
songs.
of the album.
Yeah. I just make it. I think. It
I
closes it
I
out,
probably
ties it
should
up
have
in a
given
nice
it a
bow.
little bit more than that, but that's all I could do
That's
at that
fair.
point.
Mark.
I gave it a 4.
Okay.
I thought this would be a good one to have like a fucking 10-minute drum solo. Like in this song, to me, the drums just kind of stole the show.
Oh yeah.
Like they kind of led. It was the most prominent sound, so it'd be a good, like end of your night closer.
Yeah.
Just let the drum guy go fucking nuts for like 10 minutes.
A lot of bands do something like that. Even Tool, Tool had that
Do it.
really long song with the crickets, and
Godsmack.
NWA. We haven't posted that video. We probably won't, but
I
they
don't
did
even
something
have it
different.
anymore.
It was like a dance song, and it was really long.
Oh yeah, it was really
different.
Cool. That was cool.
A lot of people do. I think Dave Matthews Band had like a really kind of long, different type of song at the end of their album. Yeah, a lot of bands do. It is your chance to take a chance. So why not do something different? And obviously, they just put another power metal song in.
Yeah.
'Cause that's how I feel about this band.
When we saw them at that show in Louisville, I remember they were playing "We Will Fight," and me and the drummer made eye contact because it was so close. The venue was so small, and there's the part where there's like a downbeat, and he doesn't hit a crash or a splash. I don't know what the symbols are, but I always think there should be one because it's like "We will fight," and like it's like a voice that says "fight."
And everybody at the goes
they,
fight. Yeah.
right, but like he doesn't crash, he doesn't splash, but
It
the
just-
guitars, yeah, it's kind of like a hesitation.
A skip beat.
Yeah, but like the guitars go, and I'm always just wish he would do it. And then I looked at him and I was like pointed, and he was like, whoosh.
Yeah. It's probably designed to do that, and I bet he was so happy. I bet he remembers that moment.
I doubt it.
Nah, man, dude, I think they remember more than we give them credit to.
I doubt it. I mean,
Yeah.
it does. I say
How many
dozens
shows
of
do they do?
Exactly,
I mean,
the dozens and dozens. Of
How many
shows
eye
since then.
contact?
Sabaton
Yeah.
remembered how
Yeah.
rowdy of a crowd we were in Columbus.
Oh, they did. That's what they say at the fucking every show.
Nah, I hope not. I think they knew. He remembered that his pants ripped.
I mean, maybe
Yeah,
that might be
the first
notable,
show's this Joaquim's pants ripped. He has these cargo pants, and he always wears them to every show. And they tore, and like
Early.
he was like, I got better pants this time, and everybody laughed. It was awesome. It's just cool that he could relate back to where we were.
Yeah, good.
I like that concert because we saw people that we saw the last time. It was just it was awesome. All right, so
I hope they get back to concerts, man. Just fucking sign them.
everybody needs to get back to concerts, and just don't worry about it.
Oh, the Works are playing at Riverfront Live April 30th. Just throwing that out there.
Count me in.
Just throwing it out there.
Let's do this. Their stuff is cool. I didn't think I would like it, but it's just you would like it too because it is just like rhythm guitar that progresses over a long period of time.
We'll check it out.
Yeah, and it just like grows, and you're just like, man, I just like swaying to this. Nothing about it is oppressive or challenging. You can just sit back, relax, and enjoy what jam bands have to offer.
Cool.
And I really didn't think I would like it, but we listened to it down at the lake, and it was a nice experience. All right, so I'm just gonna lay this out here. Ben mostly will care about what I have to say. I'm not gonna cheapen my thoughts. I was disappointed by this album. Every song is a great, good power metal song. That's like so sad. But like, come on, every song is a power metal song. You can be a power metal band and do different things and still maintain your identity as a power metal band. There was no risks. No risks taken
That's
with
fair.
this.
I agree. I
Nothing.
was slightly disappointed with it the first, like probably one or two times. Because I listened to it once when it first came out, and I was like, no, I'd like to do this for this, or I'd like to really sit down and intentionally listen to it. And I don't want to be sour on it or too high on it before we do this. So I listened to it once when it first came out, and I was a little disappointed. So then the second time I listened to it, when we rolled it, I liked it a little bit more, and each time it's just been a little bit more and more. But I do know what you mean.
I'm the same way. The album improves for me over time,
Mm-hmm.
but then I also still realize what it's lacking, and it's just any difference in sound. Like it's this, like, all right, if this is the scheme of all music, and like they're here. There's differences in their songs because they are obviously tracked differently, but like, man, they stayed in one lane.
A narrow path.
Yeah.
But that said, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, there's going to be like quintessential power metal, and like this album's probably going to be in that mix because it is power metal.
I didn't like look too far into it, but it was generally positively reviewed, and
Hey, I gave the album a 6.5.
yeah, I think 7's pretty fair.
Yeah, like this album is cool. Like, I will listen to songs on this album again.
Mm-hmm.
Just want them to take some chances. Do power metal differently.
Yeah.
This is my second ever metal album that I've listened to. Primo Victoria was the first one.
Wow.
I like this one a lot more.
Okay.
I think her voice carries it a lot. And,
She's a dream.
I don't know. Maybe it being
She's a
in that
gem.
narrow bandwidth of safe metal
Yeah.
was, I don't know, part of that decision, or part of me liking it.
Yeah.
You know, I guess I'd have to hear what carries the extremes of the other ends to really give a good comparison.
It'll be cool for you because you haven't listened to some of these things that we're going to explore.
Yeah. It wasn't like hard to listen to.
Oh no, there's
No.
There's nothing hard about.
I mean, as
listening
somebody who's
to
not
it.
like a huge fan of the genre,
Mm-hmm.
typically, like so far in my life, anyway, this is kind of my first introduction to this style of music. I didn't have a hard time. I didn't have a hard time listening to it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
No, that's like a positive, feedback. If this wasn't hard for you to listen to, a lot of the other stuff won't be hard to listen.
Like, my
either.
typically go-to is like Culture Wall, Tyler Childers.
I've heard of that.
Kind of
I've not heard
rockabilly.
of it.
Country
not
leaning.
like more like traditional, older school country,
Outlaw
rancher.
Outlaw country, but no, that's like 38 Special, outlaw country rock. That's a bit. Yeah, I get you. Yeah, no, you are more on the country spectrum.
Traditional,
like
not what you'll find on like the country radio station. That's more like pop music.
Yeah,
more
I don't wanna
towards
say, like,
bluegrass,
Waylon Jennings, but like
Yeah,
than it
but
is.
not like the
Yeah,
not that kind of bluegrass.
the
bluegrass.
spirit of the Johnny Cashes, the Waylon Jennings, the
Yeah.
spirit of them today.
Yes. That's a very good way to put it.
Yeah.
That's my go-to.
Yeah.
So this is very much different, but like I said, I didn't have a hard time listening to it. It's not like I was like, "How am I going to get through this?" It was good to have on while I was working out, and
Yeah.
I just enjoyed the listen overall.
Ben, where do you put this in terms of Battle Beast albums?
Probably fourth
Okay.
Out of
6.
Mm.
Well, honestly, the first album I don't listen to much because it doesn't have Nora. There's like, probably 1 or 2 songs from there that I'll listen to.
It's like listening to the first Iced Earth album.
Yeah, it's just where it's not John Schaefer singing, not John Schaefer, fucking John Schaefer's.
Yeah.
Oh God,
They've had a
Matt
lot of
Barlow.
singers. Yeah.
Matt Barlow.
Yeah. He is. Yeah, he comes in where like they get popular.
Yeah.
Ish.
But yeah, I liked. I think that Let It Roar. I can't remember what that album is. I think it's called Battle Beast. Is probably their best because I think just not that Nora's
It's
old
Nora,
or whatever, but
but
she's so youthful and like there's so much energy in her voice. It's just like my nipples are hard literally the entire time.
No, that's cool. All right, so you agree that it's not their best album for sure.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even in the top 2. That 6 albums is a lot. I mean, they've accomplished something. And I'll say like their live show is
A lot of fun.
like a sonic assault. It is cool, and it is all power metal.
Yeah.
They don't hold back.
Yeah.
And that is what's cool. Like there is something to be said about being hyperbolic, superlative, 9 out of 10 all the time,
etc., etc.
etc., etc. It's like they just kick it the
It's so
entire
like
time.
when that song that pulls it back to a 7 out of 10 comes at a concert, you're like, take a little breather.
I might be able to go get a drink.
Yeah.
They don't give you any room, and that was cool about them.
Yeah.
No wonder that guy was grinding us the entire time. He just couldn't help it.
Yeah, if I stop now, I'll collapse.
Yeah.
All right. Through the magic of editing, we are back with the Wheel of Destiny. But first, before we get to that, we are going to take a shot. And what is this one? The Sycamore or the
This
Cincinnati?
is Cincinnati rye whiskey again.
All right.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mates. I don't know if it's getting worse or if I'm just getting older.
Man, it's just like end of the night one is never great. Gave me goosies though.
Goosey.
Yeah.
Didn't hit the nipples.
No.
Oh, still hit
soft as can be.
Still hit them.
Every time.
Yep, every time. All right, now we got the
Wheel of Destiny.
All right, Jeff, you're gonna roll this time or spin this time. We replaced Battle Beast with Sturgill Simpson, the Ballad of Dude and Juanita. Give it a spin.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I thought.
Ooh,
almost.
Almost landed on it.
Yep.
We landed on Wasp, the Last Command.
And then you had said that you were going to be very excited about this album.
Hell yeah, because Wasp is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
They are straight, or at least this album is like just straight traditional 80s metal.
Mhm.
Kind
Okay.
of like hair metal style.
Very
Okay.
straightforward.
Hair metal evokes a like a Motley Crue Poison type thing.
Yeah.
It's not that they don't necessarily sound like that, but they sound a little bit more aggressive.
What are
They're
the new-
looking-
like? Are they? What time frame is this album? Like when did this come out?
Oh god, I want to say like 1985 or
Oh,
something.
okay. So this is like
It was the
legit
year I was
from the
born.
80s.
Yeah, it's 85 for sure.
Okay.
And I think they're not as flamboyant as
Yeah.
like let's say like the Kisses
If you look up a video,
or Poison
look-
or
They look like they do the makeup and they tease the hair and the big hair and everything.
Yeah, the tight.
it's
weird
not
pants.
intense.
Yeah,
They don't have like
It's just-
matching
it's just,
outfits or anything.
Yeah, to me it just seems like more
Are they wearing
like a little
spandex?
aggressive. Yeah, probably, but everybody was at the time.
I just
Yeah.
always remember like the meme of the lead singer like cannonballing into a pool while his disappointed mother looks on.
bro. You've brought that up before, but
You gotta check it
I don't
out.
know what
It's
you're talking about.
hilarious.
I have to look this up.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty excited about that. Cool.
yeah. I mean, and I've listened to him some. I'm excited about it too because I'll like really be able to sit down and listen to them, which is like I hope I have the same experience that I had with Europe. Because Europe was like, oh yeah, it's not just the final countdown and Cherokee. It's like the whole album is completely memorable.
Oh yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
Hopefully you'll find the same. Hopefully you'll get to enjoy it. I think this one,
if you have time, you should check out Europe's Final Countdown album. It's phenomenal.
It's
phenomenal.
it is so worth listening to.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Well, this was Mastering Mediocrity Music Reviews. Thank you for listening. If you liked what you saw, subscribe.
Hit the like button.
Watch the show.
Tell your mom.
Hey, that's what I said.
Thanks a lot, guys.